Hey, y'all, welcome back to Tactical Alliance Gaming. So this weekend, times 10 shard pulls on some freaking awesome champs. A lot of turn meter control this weekend, looking good. Pull if you desperately need them. Don't if you're really wanting to push for the fusion, okay? Get the dog out of the way here. So here's what we got coming up for this weekend, okay? So the list... Let me get to it here because I'm freaking way far behind. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Banner Lords right here off the top with Raglan. All right, so they're all turn meter control champions. She does have a revive and 75 with 75% HP and a full turn meter on an A3. Let's see, it's strip and yeah, and she fills the turn meter of 3 random allies by 15%. She's good. I wouldn't pull this weekend just for Raglan though. But that's just me. I wouldn't. If you desperately think she can help your account, then absolutely, good luck. Go ahead and pop them bad boys. This one right here is the one everybody's probably going to want. Lysandra. She was the first legendary I ever pulled, and she is absolutely freaking phenomenal. Probably the absolute best turn meter control champion in the game. All right. She does have a speed on all battles by 24% aura. Her A3, absolute monster. 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 30% and decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 30%. Okay, now that does book. That is a 4-turn cooldown. That thing is absolutely beast. You can run her into arena, use her as your speed booster. Top notch, okay? Her A2 is absolutely phenomenal for dungeons. Not so much more anymore for 21 to 25 dungeons, but definitely going up through stage 20. She is still absolutely amazing. I still use her in my Spider 25 team for turn meter control. She only drops 50%, but her A2, 4-turn cooldown, books to 3, attacks 1 enemy, fully depletes the target's turn meter, fully depletes. Now remember, turn meters can get above 100%. This girl, when she smacks them with that A2, she drops that damn thing down to 0, all right? She completely depletes it. All right, so she's absolutely freaking amazing. The next Lego that's coming up this weekend is one I desperately want. Right there, Prince Kaimar. All right, everybody knows Prince Kaimar for his reset on his A3, along with the turn meter by 20% on a 6-turn cooldown. But he also has a sleep on his A2 and poisons on his A1. Definitely want him. He's a solid champion. I don't have one for my Seer, and I don't have a Renegade, so I'm really in a hard way on this one. I really want to pull to try and get him, but I did pop a dupe. I don't remember. I pulled a dupe Lego a couple weeks ago, so I really don't want to. I know I'm not going to hit pity, and since we can't look at that anymore, I know I'm way off. Okay, the next one is Lanikus. Gotta find the Lanikus here. Find him here. Blind Seer. There we go. Next up is Lanikus the Chosen. Ally attack champion. Okay, A3. 30% increased crit rate and 50% increase attack for 2 on all allies for 2 turns. 25% chance of getting an extra turn. A2 teams up with 3 random allies to attack a single enemy. The allies joining the attack will use their default skills. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 30% and increases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. And then attacks 1 enemy, 15% continuous heal on this champion for 1 turn if it's critical. I'm not worried about it. For me, I'm not pulling for Lanikus by any stretch of the imagination. I have Kreela, I've got Longbeard, I have Cardiel, I've got ally attack covered. Next one up is one I would definitely not pull for. Not the biggest fan at all. Oops, wrong faction. Not the biggest fan of her. Oh, no, again, wrong faction. She's Night Rev. There we go. Golden Reaper. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Boost turn meter by 20%. Attacks all enemies. 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. And decreases the turn meter of each target by 20% if they're not under a decreased attack debuff. And then A1, 30% chance decreasing a cooldown of 1 random ally skills by 1 turn. Not really worth popping voids for this weekend. To be 100% honest, I would not pop voids specifically for Golden Reaper. Not happening. Okay, not in a million years. The next one up is an Orc. Old Hermit Jorg. Or Yorg. Shoot, I don't know. Revives 2 random allies with 60% HP. Fills the turn meters by 40%. And places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns. 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. And fills the turn meters of all allies by 20% on a 3-turn cooldown for an A2. And his A1 just has a 30% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. And 40% if you book him out. After this is one that if you don't have, you might want to pull for. He is solid. Good old Deacon Armstrong. All right. Solid champion. Very solid. He's got a speed aura in all battles by 19%. His A3 fills turn meters of all allies by 15% and decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 15% and then grants an extra turn on a 3-turn cooldown. All right, attacks all enemies, 80% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Again, on a 3-turn cooldown for his A2. His A1, he attacks twice. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a leech debuff that is bookable to 50%. Good champ. He's got good base. He's got pretty decent base speed. His defense is better than most, or better than a lot anyway. All right. Next up, and the last one is from the Shadowkin faction, Sachi. All right. Definitely a little hippie little thing. But hey, whatever. All right. So her passive revives a random ally with 30% HP whenever she kills somebody, and a 50% chance of placing a fear on all enemies for 1 turn whenever an ally is revived. 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, then attacks 1 enemy, fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%. If this attack is critical on an A3, books down to 3-turn cooldown. Her A2 attacks 1 enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased crit rate debuff and a leech debuff for 2 turns. That books down to 2-turn cooldown. All right. And it does book up to 100% chance. Okay. And then on an A1, attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. That does book to 50%. I would not pull for her either. I mean, we get so many epics, popping sacreds and everything else. Eventually you're bound to pull her. So in reality, as far as the champions go, I really would not pull, honestly, unless you desperately need one of those champions. I don't know why I clicked that. Unless you desperately need one of those champions. For me, it's this one right here. And I only need him for his reset. I have enough turn meter control. I have poisons. So this is definitely where I would go as far as if I'm going to pull. I haven't decided, but I will be pulling shards tomorrow morning in stream, so make sure you stop by. Link is in the description. And again, guys, thanks for stopping by. Let me know. Are you guys going to pull shards this weekend? Let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, thanks. Don't forget that subscribe button. That thing is your friend, all right? Smash that like button, share the video. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. What do you think of these champions that are up on the times 10 this weekend, and are you going to pull? Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.